doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast in the house. Hey!
We'll have a little pop-up. Have everybody over. It'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it.
This is a beautiful thing, man. Just all this blackness, and we all just getting together, we playing dominoes, we eating, we drinking.
And, you know, food is always just the extra, man.
They deprive these people of their basic human rights. You know, and we call ourselves Americans. We're supposed to be above all this.
They'll fake the crisis. They'll make it seem way out of proportion.
We brothers, we breaking bread.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Trying to hold it all together, man. Life is moving fast right now, man. So it's good to have everybody come through.
I love that, man. I love it a lot. More than I could say to you guys.
Couldn't take care of George that day he was killed, but maybe by speaking with you today, I can make sure that his death will not be in vain. To make sure that he is more than another face on a t-shirt, more than another name on a list that won't stop growing. George always made sacrifices for our family, and he made sacrifices for complete strangers. He gave the little that he had to help others. He was our gentle giant. I was reminded of that when I watched the video of his murder. He called all the officers sir. He was mild-mannered. He didn't fight back. He listened to all the officers. The man who took his life, who suffocated him for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, he still called them sir as he begged for his life.
What's going on, y'all? Triple B in the house. Brothers Breaking Bread podcast. Skeleton crew here. 10 meters. We had to go down. We had to get them from the Veterans Hall of Fame. We got the homie 30 Pisas back in the house. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's up? What's up?
Chilling. What's up, Frank?
What's good? I'm over here in the laundry room getting that good quality audio.
I feel you. I can hear the echo reverberating. Oh, you know, let me make sure I'm recording, dog. There we go. I was like, what the hell?
You had 3 minutes of recording.
I know. There we go. Y'all real talkative this week. We got jokes. Shut all you niggas off. And be just me talking. Ain't nobody talking, but I'm talking. Anyway, man, that opened up. That was George Floyd's brother, Philonees Floyd. I believe that's his name. Talking at Capitol Hill. You know, I have no idea how you don't know what's going on, not only in the U.S., but the fucking world. People are fed up with police brutality. And he was there to talk about the death of his brother, who seems to be basically the straw that broke the camel's back. Cause this has been going on for a long time, but yeah, people are tired, and like he was, it really feels like the perfect catalyst of COVID, and then this shit, and niggas is just not just niggas, everybody just mad. So anyway, we do our check in, and we'll get on with these stories. So what's going on, Frank?
I guess I'll start off. Frank's on mute still.
Oh, okay.
And nothing much going on here, but I do have kind of an announcement I would like to make.
Go ahead.
Your boy's coming home. Your boy's coming home.
Where's home?
10 meters. 10 meters is going to be in Kansas City, July 27th.
All right. So what brings that about?
Well, I got a new opportunity, different hospital, took a look at my resume and everything, and contacted me, and they were looking for an EP tech, and they offered me a position over at their hospital. The hospital's name, I don't think I want to mention the hospital's name right now, but they reached out to me. They sounds like a pretty good team over there. Some of the doctors I am familiar with, that I will be working with, and the crew, I guess, pretty much it's a small crew. It's a small unit, I should say. It's not really a big EP unit, but
It's a big hospital, and small EP.
but it's a big hospital, right? But a small lab. And they are getting ready to expand, so the cases are going to increase. But nonetheless, they reached out to me, offered me a position, and they are paying me a little bit more than when I left with. So,
Good.
Kudos.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Anything else?
Other than that, I'm winding down my contract here in Austin. I'm also beginning my whole photography practice. I had a couple models today. Well, they actually canceled at the last minute, but I have a shoot scheduled for tomorrow, so I hope that goes pretty well.
Oh, shit. Well, all right, man. Good stuff.
All right, thank you.
All right, what about you, Frank?
What's up? This is your boy Frank, aka 30 PSs. So I had to change it from 30 pieces because, just got to embrace some of my Latino heritage or whatnot. No, but everything's good. Glad to be back on the show again. I'm hoping to kind of temper my excitement / anger, and not be too boisterous. But just like everybody else, I mean, life happens. Things happen. I know a lot of people, during this COVID thing, I know I haven't been able to share a lot of my feelings, especially with you all. But there's things that are happening in the background. There's things in the realizations that that I've came to, and I'm like really, really, really gotten comfortable in my own skin, and I'm comfortable with a lot of the decisions that I'm taking, and I'm going to make it coming down the pipe or in the future. So that's just basically it. I mean, I don't have any major announcements just yet, but and yeah, I mean, just like everybody else, there's a sense and a level of frustration with what's going on in the world right now. Not to get too somber, but like Story said earlier on, it's not just here anymore in the United States. I think it's prevalent with us, but I listen to a lot of podcasts for soccer that's across the water in different countries, and right now there's no real sports going on. There's not happening, so a lot of them are focusing on because they're patrons, so either they put out content or they'll lose their subscribers, right? So a lot of things that they're trying to do is they're covering what's happening and how they're involved, and it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. There's Black Lives Matter Paris, Black Lives Matter UK, and that's just like the tipping point, really. I mean, there's a lot of movements going around. Even I just saw that in Lebanon, they're doing some form of movement. But obviously over there, it's not necessarily all Black Lives Matter. Yes, it started that way, but it's the oppression. It's about the folks that have been oppressed for so long that are rising, just like the Arab Spring 2.0.
Right.
Just on a global scale type of thing.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Well, good stuff, man. Glad you're here. On this side of things, nothing much. Just living life. Trying not to get shot as I tie my shoe and jog around the neighborhood. Just usual nigga shit that black people do here in America.
Right. Right.
But nah, man. I kind of tweeted about it, man, and I don't really know if it's a source of my side eye, but I'm really tired of motherfuckers who scared to work, but so motherfucking pressed to have sports come back that they want grown ass men and women breathing and sweating and bleeding all over each other just so they can be entertained and forget about the fucking world. Man, we got motherfuckers in our hospital that won't scrub a case unless they got an N95, a face shield, a motherfucking mask, and now, granted, every patient that comes in there, they get tested for COVID before they can even come into our lab. So we already know these niggas ain't got it or not presented with it at that time. But I'm like, so wait a minute. So we got people here who tested negative, but you still want all this extra protection that we normally don't use or never used before this to do this case. Right. Even though this motherfucker is intubated, won't be breathing or sweating on nobody, but you want grown-ass men to entertain you for a 7-game series with sweat and blood and bleeding all over each other?
Exactly.
I can't. That's it. Whatever, man. Well, they're rich, so I'm like, what the fuck they gotta do when if they die?
Nothing to do with it. Yeah.
And then just because I'm rich means, just because let's not forget, rich and black, you think that you entitled to control me and force me to go out there and fucking entertain you so you can forget about your wife for 3 hours. Right. Ain't my job, pimp. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. But yeah, that's kind of, I was just at work, man. Shit, I just like, motherfuckers just like, can't wait, basketball's coming back. I'm like, but it ain't gonna be no good. Niggas gonna be sorry. They've been sitting on their ass playing Dig Dug for the last 3 months, nigga.
Damn, you came back with Dig Dug, man?
Niggas gonna be shooting the ball over the motherfucking rim, over the backboard, nigga. Anyway.
But story, it's like, it's when I say funny, it's not really funny. It's just I have no other words to express it, okay?
Yes.
So to me, it's funny that the same people that work, especially like in the hospital setting.
Yes.
And I can't speak on any other area because I deal with hospitals and I work with hospitals. My wife is a nurse practitioner, like everybody knows by now. So again, there is that level of protection that you have to have a minimum to receive certain patients. You know what I mean? Whether they're positive or negative or whatnot. And that's just across the board. You want to be safe, right? But then these are the same people that complain about, they want sports, whatever. But the same people that don't take that same level of protection outside of the workplace.
Exactly.
So to me, it's like it's funny. Really, it's contradictory, and it's asinine. It's like me right now. We've taken a lot of precautions, even though a lot of the mandatory shutdown and everything has been lifted. Me and my wife still take precautions. I'm fortunate that I can work from home, and I don't have to be in the office. Matter of fact, we just got extended another additional month to work from home liberally.
Right.
So our kids, we don't take them outside the house or anything like that. I mean, yeah, we have a yard and everything, so we're appreciative of that. And we take them out to like open fields where we're not going to necessarily come into contact with somebody.
Right.
But we take certain precautions. I wear my mask. I wear my mask when I go outside. When we're inside and wear at the house because I feel comfortable with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And I know the level of caution and care that you've taken because you got little ones too, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So and I trust that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but I go to the I see these same people that are like, oh, I want athletes to start. They should be getting paid. I'm tired of seeing them in their big mansions taking pictures and selfies, and I'm like, yeah, but that's their lifestyle, let me bring this up. That I before we go to the next topic, but so one thing about athletes, and they're rich and wealthy and all that stuff. One thing that I learned from another podcast is we talked about how we have like expenses and mortgages and all that stuff. Athletes, their expenses are structured way different, and I never really kind of considered this before. Their structures, their mortgages, their expenses are structured in a way that it's paid up the quickest in large sums. You know what I mean? What I mean to say by it is like if we have a 30-year mortgage, right? Like me and Jenny do. Well, an athlete is not going to have a 30-year mortgage because of the lifespan of an athlete or a career is soccer. They're just going soccer. In soccer, you go 10 years, so a decade.
Frank.
Yeah.
Why you going so deep into this, man? Fuck them people. Why we gotta explain these niggas money? They humans. Why are you asking another human to do something that you don't want to fucking do?
Right.
Well, fuck they money. That's what. But my point wasn't even the money. I was just like, nigga, I'm not about to ask no other man to do what I don't. My gym is open. I ain't even going that motherfucker to shoot around by myself. But
actually, what I was getting around to all that stuff anyway. There's the stuff differently, but also these people are anybody going to go to if these games are not held out? They're held at the regular arena. Are people actually going to go and watch them?
They're not going to.
I'm saying no. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they want to see him play, but are they willing to go and watch these athletes
I'm saying
play?
that the people that control the arenas, probably for insurance reasons, are not going to allow those people into the arenas even if they want to come.
Right.
Because what we talked about when you came to visit is you're going to basically have to, like, Trump wants people to do to come to his fucking rally, his Klan rally.
They got to sign. They got to sign a waiver.
You basically have to sign a document, or on the ticket or whatever, probably for it, or when you go to the web page, not sign a document. Well, I guess it's digitally signed document. When you go to the web page, asking to pay to go to these events or whatever, on there's a disclaimer saying that you will not sue the president or the federal government, all this shit like that. And that's what I mean. And for insurance reasons, I'm telling you, these large ads, they're gonna be like, not right now, no. And that's why they're gonna start the season in, like we talked about down in Florida, in that quote unquote bubble.
Pretty much.
Ain't nobody. People want. Yes, there are dumbasses that will go, and that's why they're probably not gonna let people go.
Right. Well, no. What I was trying to get to is the fact that everybody's so concerned about athletes being so rich that the athletes are dealing with a different level of like expenses and a much higher rate and a quicker rate. They're the ones that are actually getting on the field, on the court, or wherever performing, that to cover their expenses. Don't you think that they want to protect themselves as well? You know what I mean? People just get out of somebody else's pockets, bro. Let them let them come out when they're ready, bro.
But my point is, people use they are rich to dehumanize the athlete. Since you're rich, and I feel that because I have paid to help make you rich, I own part of you. They don't care. It's just it's the same thing when athletes speak out about political shit. Just shut up and shut up and do this.
Shut up and dribble.
I bought your jersey fucking 8 years ago, so now I own a stake of you and get to tell you what to do. That's why people say, oh, since they're rich, now you're less human.
But see,
you're not even a person.
To that though, but see, the caveat to that is that if you're a black athlete, you need to shut up and dribble. But if you're a white athlete, you know,
we heard about.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Well, he did get some heat, but then again, the Fox News narrative and a lot of other people, but he did get a lot of heat because he did come out.
Yeah, he did.
But we getting too deep into this, so yeah. But anyway, yeah.
But go ahead.
But people are stupid.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Nora, George Floyd died here, and that's why you still have this massive memorial filling this intersection behind me. And even in the rain, people are coming out to see it. And our reporting today shows that the victim in this case and the officer at the center of the investigation crossed paths in another location too, a nightclub. Tonight, CBS News is learning new information about George Floyd and Derek Chauvin from a man who worked security with both of them at this nightclub in Minneapolis. Co-worker David Penny is breaking his silence, telling us that the two men had a history. What kind of history?
They bumped heads.
How?
It has a lot to do with Derek being extremely aggressive within the club with some of the patrons, which was an issue.
The Floyd family says it believes what happened on May 25th was in part personal. Is there any doubt in your mind that Derek Chauvin knew George Floyd?
No, he knew him.
How well?
We won't play the whole interview, but it'll be in the
I see.
But it's just it's an update though. Just kind of like when all this broke, and this story broke this interview broke June 9th. But there were already kind of like rumors that they knew each other, they had worked together, and now you're just getting verification. So yeah, right. Yeah, and I know people want that first degree murder, but that's going to be very hard to get a guilty plea for that.
Yeah,
so
in my opinion.
You think that second? You think they went to second because they're? I think second's going to be really hard to prove as well, and I think they'll probably end up getting the third degree when it's all said. I don't agree with it, but I think they upgraded it to a second degree because they know that if they do that, the perception is we tried it, but we're going to go ultimately with a third degree.
I think you can get second degree.
Two of them are out on bail right now, bro.
I know.
Two of them.
That's the system, though. If you can afford it, you can get out. That's the system. It's a system that we have. I mean, that's why it's stacked against poor people at all times. But yeah, I think you can get second degree, especially if the whole thing is we prove that there was a knowledge and that he knew this man. They knew each other previous to this interaction, because the story we got initially was he didn't know who he was, even though people on the scene said that George Floyd started freaking out as soon as he saw Derek Chauvin. That's when he started getting upset. And that's when he started yelling, "He gonna kill me."
Well, you had the former nightclub owner that came out like a couple of days later and confirmed that.
Right.
They had worked together.
Right. But they were trying to say didn't like something. Yeah. But anyway, it's just I don't know, man. It's just.
I think it's a setup, man. I think they're setting it up, bro.
And the fact that we're even here having to debate if this is first, second degree, the fact that it took, a video being released and riots to arrest everyone. I mean, it's just
protests.
Riots, protests, but then also some of the riots too. But for me, riot is fine too. Riot is not necessarily a negative term to me. Rioting does not equal looting, even though some people try to make it that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't say looting. But the riot, protest, whatever you want to say, whatever, burn it all down. I don't care. But the fact that we have to go to such extremes just to get the minimum basics of justice, which we still don't know if we're going to get, I mean, that's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Breonna Taylor's killers are still on the loose right now.
Yeah, but they got that bill passed, though, right?
Which one? Outlawing chokeholds or whatever?
No, the no knock warrants.
Man.
And so now they're trying to push to make it a federal mandate.
The Governor Cuomo signed the no chokehold or outlawing him.
Yeah, but I thought
yesterday and then today and last night they had I didn't laugh like that. It's not funny, but last night, not the NYPD, but police officers in the state of New York used the chokehold again.
But I thought the chokehold was already outlawed there.
What? Yeah. 1 second. Zeb's trying to join.
It's been outlawed, yeah.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, man?
Here you are.
All right.
Hey, we already started up, but we were just discussing not the article, the news report we put in the chat group where they were talking, basically just giving a brief background of how George Floyd and Derek Chauvin, or whatever his name is, knew each other.
Yeah. Okay.
So have you had a chance to hear that? As far as the guy broke down, one of the club owners or employees came out and confirmed that they knew each other. They had bumped heads before.
Yeah, like I've been hearing, because the club owner, she had come out and said something pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily that they had bumped heads, but that they both worked there as like part of security or whatever.
Right.
And she said that the cop, I forget, Chauvin or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And him along with other cops, but she was like, in particular him, they would get like really aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Especially when there was like when it was like a black crowd.
Right.
That they would just be noticeably more aggressive and hostile towards that clientele than when it was a majority white crowd. And then here over the past week or so, You know what I'm saying? I did see a little like a clip of an interview with a dude. I think it was.
Yeah, that's what we were playing. The dude was talking about. Yeah, he said that
they had actually bumped heads over how Chauvin was treating guests and shit.
Certain guests at the club, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what y'all how deep y'all got into it already. But I remember seeing maybe it was a couple of days ago on the group chat, somebody was saying about first degree. You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking that when I first heard about it, you know, and I think that was before. I think at that time he wasn't even charged with he didn't even have a second degree charge. I don't think at that time.
Right. He had third. Right.
Yeah, he had a third degree. You know, and. I don't know, man. You know, I think definitely, obviously, you know, that needs to be looked into and investigated because obviously they knew each other. You know, come from more than one place. Now, exactly the nature of their relationship, but just the fact that they knew each other and they worked together, and that shit end up happening like that. That's that's way too
hard.
But in my opinion, it's going to be kind of hard to prove first degree murder. It's gonna be kind of hard to prove first degree murder because
premeditation.
That's what I'm about to say.
The premeditation part, right?
Yeah, right. That's why I said I don't want
because of the happenstance. He was the cop, or called to the scene.
Correct.
And
you're right.
This was it's kind of hard to prove setup and motive behind him going. So second degree at most.
Yeah, I think that's the move to make, like for the reasons that you just said. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that, man, because that it'll be way too good of a chance for it being find a not guilty. You know what I mean, with the first degree. So definitely. But
so I got a question, man. Yeah, I see the second degree charge, just because it's going to be hard to prove the premeditated, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But what's stopping them from trying to prove that?
You have to question old boy,
because do you have to go?
How do you
to a reasonable doubt?
Frank? This is so. How does one prove premeditation? You have to. It had to be something like an email, a text chain. Somebody sent him a message saying, "Hey, we got that black dude you work with." You would have to prove that when he was coming there, he knew that George Floyd was the man that was there. You got to
known that was George Floyd.
Exactly.
Or even if there was like some witnesses that seen them have a confrontation and he said some shit. If I ever catch you, you know what I'm saying? If I'm ever
there's got to be some type of
some shit, but it's too much reasonable doubt. Too much.
Right. But going back to what you said though, if the call went out because apparently, he apparently, and this is just going by what you read and what was been presented.
Right.
So obviously they're going to do an investigation of it, right? So right now what we have on the table is George Floyd presented try to pay something with a fake $20 bill. At that time, it was assumed that it was a legal $20 bill, right?
Right.
The state of Minnesota has a law that instead of returning it back to you or scratching it out, they have to report it up, right, to the cops. Right. So they already made the call. They already know who's coming there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they release that call. Because if they say, hey, George Floyd, because he's a frequenter of that store. Yeah. It's not like it was a first time. If they say, hey, we got a patron, George Floyd, that presented himself with a $20 bill, and the call comes in, and, Mr. Chauvin, whatever, that prick, says, hey, I'll answer the call. Because remember, there was a lot of cops for a $20 bill.
Right.
Okay.
But once again...
And he wasn't even the first on the scene, I don't think.
Exactly. But he wasn't the first on the scene.
Right.
That's why I'll be curious to see what those
how many times have you seen one car pulled over and 4 police cars?
Exactly. That's another issue.
So then you had to be like, is he out of his jurisdiction or his district or his normal place that he patrols? I doubt it.
Did he have to
once again, dog, you go for a first degree charge, that man gonna walk. And then
if nothing else, it's way too big of a chance that he's going to walk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And you got to play the odds.
So if he gets the first degree, that's the only charge you can get?
Yeah, but you get first degree, then the judge goes, you know what? Nah, we're gonna step it down to third. That's not how that works.
Because that's because that's how they played it off when they upgraded it from a third to a second.
Well, they upgraded.
That is a good point, man. That's a good point. And I've seen people get off. They get acquitted for like a certain degree, like let's say third degree, but they get convicted for involuntary manslaughter,
which is a step down from that, right?
So that is a good point, man. I have seen, you can't. I don't know about how it operates state by state.
But here's the thing, though. Those charges have to be presented at that time. So they might be saying, like, he might have several different charges, and they say, not for the first, not for this, not for that, not for that, but we will charge him with that. It can't be a thing where you say, we're charging you with this, but we didn't get this, and the judge says, oh, you know what, we're going to do that. So with the
investigation,
it has to be from,
So it depends on
investigation had led to.
So it'd be good to hear like the grand jury, or then when the trial starts, to hear the charges that are being prosecuted. That's what's going to be key, because that's whatever's there on that table. That's how they're gonna be able to get them with. And if the only thing we got is we're going for murder in the first, Godspeed to us. Godspeed.
That was my point right there. So right there, they have to. I mean, what they're presented, in the case with the investigation and everything, is what they can charge them with, the evidence that they are presented with.
Right.
So, like I said, you can't get them for premeditation, because premeditation is going to be hard to prove.
I mean,
but you can get him for second degree, where.
I don't know how that reads. I get my sister, my cousin.
I'll tell you right now. Second degree is any intentional murder with malice, aforethought, but it's not premeditated or planned in advance.
That's the one they can get him with.
Yeah,
because it's malice there, but there's no premeditation, because he didn't know.
The thing is, there may be premeditation. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying. But what I'm saying is, you can't prove it. Even ain't a nigga on here a lawyer, and we've already caused enough doubt in each other's mind with our simple ass explanation.
Exactly.
So what you gonna?
So a lawyer gonna tear that apart.
Be very well jurist for this trial.
That's all I'm trying to say. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Frank and 10 meters. I'm not saying there wasn't premeditation. There may well have been. He may have heard. I don't know what the shop caller said, what the shop clerk or whoever owner said, whatever it was. But when that man showed up, you can't tell me that he ain't looking at that motherfucker's eyes, knew who he was. You can't tell me that, and you can't tell me that once he knew who he was, that he knew that man wasn't going away today. He wasn't going home that day. You can't tell me no different.
Hey, but he's got eight.
Huh?
But even the look that he had, man, the look that he had when he was on that man's neck.
Yeah, we gonna move on. We got a lot of show. We're gonna move on. But all I will say is this, and then I'll say what I gotta say, then y'all can say one more thing, then we'll move on. All I'm gonna say is this: I don't even think. But another thing that's even scary is I don't even think it mattered if it was George Floyd. The look on that man's face let me know he would kill any nigga.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
I agree.
That's what I was going to allude to.
Yeah.
That he would kill any nigga on the street. He would kill him.
Hey,
just by look up in his face.
My nigga Matt's got something to say.
This is the story of a coward and a commander. The coward Trump dodged the draft. Jim Mattis led American troops for 40 years. While a frightened Trump hides from protesters in a deep bunker firing off tweets, Jim Mattis does what he's always done, leads. While Donald Trump angrily attacks, General Mattis's words deserve to be heard by every American. Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people, does not even pretend to try. Instead, he tries to divide us. We know that we are better than the abuse of executive authority. We must reject and hold accountable those in office who would make a mockery of our Constitution. Militarizing our response, as we witnessed in Washington, D.C., sets up a conflict. a false conflict between the military and civilian society. It erodes the moral ground that ensures a trusted bond between men and women in uniform and the society they are sworn to protect.
Now, what was that from?
It's the Lincoln Project. Lincoln Project is a group that's just been dropping hot fire. Also, Lincoln Project is another reason why I'm slowly thinking about considering deleting my Facebook account, because Facebook, your boy Zuckerberg said he would not allow commercials from the Lincoln Project to be played on Facebook.
But I thought he was staying out of that shit, though.
Huh?
I thought he was staying out of that shit as far as like.
Oh no, he'll let the right alt-right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Trump,
saying, though.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, pimp. Mm-hmm. Hey, dog, my nigga Mattis said enough is enough, dog. And even though fuck him for working with that nigga, but still, yeah. he said enough is enough. We gonna need more upset old white men coming out if we gonna get Fat Nixon. We gonna get Fat Nixon out the White House.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though, because he's not in a position of influence anymore.
Well, he never was really. What are you talking about?
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. He was something.
Wasn't he an advisor to wasn't he part of the Trump administration?
I hear what you're saying, but you're missing my point. That motherfucker don't listen to nobody.
No.
You can be around him all you want. You can be sitting around him all you want. And that's the reason why he left, because Fat Nixon wanted to take all the troops out of Syria. And he was like, all right, man, you're doing too much now.
As long as you are in a position to suck this motherfucker's dick, then you are on his side. Basically, he will let you speak.
Not even then. I'm saying is he ain't listening to nobody.
I'm trying to tell you, the only thing he pays attention to is
himself.
What his press secretary is
himself. The only person he pays attention to is himself.
I hope you out. Whoever
that chick is
starts with a V and ends with an Adamer.
I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Only person this nigga listen to is himself. That's it.
Vladimir.
Vladimir Putin. Yeah, Vladimir Putin maybe. But hey, hold on, dog. He didn't went so far off the motherfucking trail, dog. This nigga said Fox News ain't about it no more. He on that. He talk about the OWN network, which is basically run by Russia. He said Fox. He said Fox.
The OAN one.
OAN, yeah.
Not the Oprah owned network.
Not my bad. Thank you for clarifying.
Not OWN. That's Discovery.
We talking about OAN. Yeah, but anyway, he's so far off the motherfucking trail, dog. That yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. But as far as my man was asking, what you said, Stork, we need more old white men like General Mattis to speak up, stand up, whatever. And my man, I'm sorry, my bad, man. Frank?
Frank.
And Frank asked, well, what Mattis doesn't really have any position of influence or whatever. What good would it do? But I'm saying he does have. He might not influence Donald Trump or necessarily directly policy administration of their policy and shit. But he's a well-respected general, and quote unquote hero. You know what I'm saying? Right. And people listen to what he says, and they're influenced by what he says.
And he gets my vote.
Hey Zeb.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, I get that because I'm a reasonable person and I understand that. But then you have politicians like Lindsey Graham shooting on Mattis after he's outside the administration.
But how much? But
that's going to happen, man.
But hold on. But ain't Lindsey Graham about to lose his seat? Ain't he in a battle for his seat right now?
We don't even know that.
But he is in a.
You're talking about McConnell.
Is it Mitch McConnell? I thought Lindsey Graham too was up. His shit was up for two.
Mitch is up. Graham is up, and
people are fed up, bro.
We really need to get their asses out of office.
And I think the one is McConnell's the hottest one because I think it's like they're tied. I think Lindsey still has a lead wherever he's at. It's close.
All I'm saying is
what it should be.
2 years
close.
All I'm saying is in 2016, even a year ago, them niggas wasn't scared. They scared now. You got you got Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice coming out saying get this nigga out the White House.
First of all, yeah, exactly. Story. Hey,
let Frank talk. Don't bang. Who's banging on the table? Don't do that. Frank.
They're doing that on election year, and I get that. Try to influence some change. But we go back to the original thing of like, yo, show up to the midterms. Where were these same people of influence, of power, then?
They weren't talking then.
They weren't talking then. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. That was,
right, but why weren't they? That's when
because they're fed up. So are we gonna say they not doing nothing because they didn't do nothing 2 years? Because
man, look, it's better late. It's better late to the party than never.
Because if
you're
that's true.
You know?
Hold on, if you're saying they have no influence, 2 years ago they wouldn't have any influence. So which one is it, Frank?
And then even then though, even when let's go to John Bolton, right? He was part of the administration that was blocked. The subpoena was blocked. Mm-hmm. So these same people that hold all these folks at a high pedestal and high influence or whatever, they couldn't get them to talk.
The thing is, they are seeing that it ain't just a couple of brown and black people in the U.S. upset. The fucking world is upset with the U.S., bro, and they see it and they know it. And they know the walls are closing around. Now you got Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham. Of course they gonna suck the balls and the dick and do everything from the back because they know that their base feeds off of Trump.
Right. But yeah. They gotta ride down with the ship.
But Mattis ain't got no seat he gotta fill. Colin Powell ain't got no seat he gotta fill. And you talking about some fucking heavy hitter mainstays in the Republican Party.
Wait a minute, and even the Bushes, dog.
George Bush said, "Fuck this nigga." Right.
Yeah, but you have a young Bush already endorsing Trump, though.
That's fine. That's fine. But you got George and his mama. George's mama was already saying "fuck this nigga" back in 2016.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even know who this younger Bush is.
Jeb.
So,
Jeb.
Oh, Jeb. Okay, I thought you meant like a younger Bush.
No, it was a younger Bush.
Okay.
A younger Bush that we don't know. Yeah. So you talking about people who have no pull? Yeah. You just bringing up Bushes with that nobody even fucking know.
Man, it's not. It can't be any of the daughters.
I don't know.
It don't really matter that much.
It don't matter. All I know
is a younger Bush that is endorsing Trump.
All I know is people are tired. Of course, his base is going to feast on his base, but people are tired. And for the first time in a long time, I mean, what Trump kind of sort of said, "Oh, well, if Biden wins, I guess I will leave the White House, but I don't think it'll be good for America." Even this motherfucker seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Niggas is tired.
Yeah, and he might just be also just wearing down too, man.
Yeah, he looked.
I don't think he wanted it in the first place.
I don't think he really did either. To be honest with you.
He looked bad in that West Point video. That nigga.
Yeah, he did.
Oof.
Not that he ever looks good.
Hold on to that.
I'm just saying, I've never seen a man with two functioning hands have such a hard time drinking a glass of water, bro. Who wasn't drunk?
It's George P. Bush is the son of Jeb Bush.
Okay.
He's endorsing him, and Jeb Bush has said he doesn't know how he's
what he's going to do yet.
Jeb stole the election, man. Jeb can eat a dick.
Right.
So, but I would still contend. I mean, I was contending that, even in 2016 when he got elected, that really Trump didn't want this position in the first place. He just wanted to cause some issues. He wanted to just stir up the pot, basically.
I think he's a person that he wanted the prestige. It's like when people get promoted in the military.
Right.
I want the prestige that comes with the rank, but I don't want to do the job that comes with the rank.
Yeah, he didn't really want it. He didn't know how to do the fucking job.
Yeah,
obviously.
Exactly.
I want to be the president, but I don't want to do the work of the president.
Right.
I just want the name. I just want the recognition.
Yeah. So I think he wanted to win, but I don't like. He probably didn't realize that. As a motherfucker who really ain't had to do no real work, he didn't realize, this shit is hard.
Yeah, and he ain't got no Dick Cheney behind him.
Nope.
Exactly. That's another thing. There's no Dick Cheney.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, if he had a dick, he could chill. He kick his feet up and chill. Dick be like,
hell yeah. He could coast.
About it.
I don't know if y'all saw this, but Yeah, Trump signed an executive order Thursday that will authorize economic sanctions on employees of the International Criminal Court for pursuing investigations into U.S. military intelligence. Ooh, excuse me, my bad. Ooh, shit, my bad, y'all. Personnel at Russia's behest. So on the behest of Russia,
saw that, but y'all need to explain that one to me.
So basically,
actually, go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead. You go ahead, Zed.
No, I was actually gonna ask if you could read it again because I ain't really got the.
Okay, so
read.
President Trump. This is June 11th. President Trump is signing an executive order Thursday that will authorize economic sanctions on employees of the International Criminal Court for pursuing investigations into U.S. military and intelligence personnel at Russia's behest. So basically, Putin said these niggas are investigating us. Could you please look into this for us? Because if I'm not sure, I don't think Russia is part of the ICC.
No, hold on. They're talking about also Afghanistan and Iraq.
Right. True.
Like you couldn't go charge people, just because they were like.
So basically, what the ICC, to long story short, they are looking into investigating the U.S. military for war crimes.
Right. Okay.
In Afghanistan.
And so he's saying that basically they're going to cut off, the United States will cut off the funding, whatever funding we provide to the ICC if they pursue these investigations, basically.
Basically, yes. Same thing. Yeah.
Okay, now I understand it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's just a bully play. You know what I mean? That's just a same thing he's trying to do with the WHO, with the World Health Organization, by pulling out our funding for them because he claimed that they was hiding the results, which they may or may not have. I don't really know enough information to substantiate or refute that claim.
Well, see that I think exactly. I think that was a bitch move anyway because the WHO is so heavily involved in what this COVID-19 thing, and they're trying to get out the information and trying to get out the parameters of this COVID-19 and trying to get us get us safe and trying to get a standard for the world. Right, exactly. Yeah. And so by him pulling out of the WHO like that, is I think it's discerning. Really, it kind of delays testing. It delays a lot of things that we need, to combat this shit.
Yeah. But I think it's the same type of move. It's just trying to throw around our weight.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Because we're the main contributor to most of these international organizations. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a real threat. You know what I'm saying? Right. To how they function. You know what I mean? So that's,
So the order is, by signing Thursday's order, Trump will authorize Pompeo, Treasury Secretary Munich, and Attorney General Bill Barr to freeze all U.S.-held assets of ICC employees who have directly engaged in any effort to investigate, arrest, detain, or prosecute U.S. personnel under the International Economic Powers Act. Furthermore, the order authorizes the State Department to block any of those employees or individuals being believed to have supported them in pursuing ICC investigations from entering the U.S.
Okay. So he's going after individuals that work for the. For the ICC.
So basically anybody. Right. So basically, what they're saying, just to clarify,
anything affiliated with the ICC.
They're looking at crimes in Afghanistan, like from rape to torture. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're looking at. So you have, like in the military, you have like a 10-year. Period that you could go back and investigate. Well, ICC is basically the last hope that you could basically appeal to. So if you have a crime that occurred in 2003 or 2004 of rape or torture, then ICC can take it up and then do their own investigation. What Trump is doing is not necessarily stopping ICC, but it's stopping anybody that's investigating U.S. forces. U.S. forces from that.
Which is even more sinister.
So basically, you are impeding in an active investigation.
Gotcha.
What he's known for doing.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what he's known for doing. You're right about that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what he's known for doing. You're right about that. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what he's known for doing. You're right about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what he's known for doing. You're right about that. Yeah, so that's just par for the course for him, man. You know what I'm saying?
And you're right. He's throwing around his weight. You know, it's kind of like a last resort move because we all know that executive orders they could be pretty hard. Like they could be they could carry a lot of weight. They could carry a lot of weight. Or they could
be toothless.
Right, but in reality, it really isn't. It's just saying one person's what they want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's based on who wants to enforce it.
Yeah, because just like so if he loses the election, whoever comes in could do away with whatever executive orders that he has passed, just like he did with Obama's.
With Obama, yeah.
I mean, but
so would he? Yeah.
I mean, but think of a earlier time when the ICC was something that we used to help Muslims in Bosnia and Kosovo receive justice, but now all of a sudden they're the bad guys, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. Yeah,
because they're focusing on our troops. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, same way they helped prosecute motherfuckers in Germany, in Nazi Germany.
Yep.
You know, you know, some of those South American countries. You know what I'm saying? When they were you know, just executing motherfuckers, disappearing motherfuckers. You know, back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s and shit. It was all good then. You know
all good then.
It was all good just a week ago.
Yeah. There
he is. All right, man. But enough talking about this motherfucker. He a piece of shit. Get him out of the White House. Stop watching Fox News. I guess. And the
hold on before you go. So you guys bringing up Fox News. So check this out. So Fox News yesterday aired a digitally enhanced piece on the Seattle riots because they have like their autonomous zone.
They use pictures from I forget where, but it wasn't from the Seattle riots. So it basically said,
they try to pass them off as it was part of them. They got caught with the red.
No. What I'm saying is
they've already been exposed.
Yeah, they use pictures from some fucking where else altogether.
Well, see. And that goes to show you that you should not look at Fox News,
or
because they're fake news,
or just watch everything and just stop. Get out of your echo chamber. I don't know what to tell you, dog.
I'll get my shit from Al Jazeera, though, to be honest.
Damn. Hey,
why you gonna say that?
Hold on, I'm just saying, dog. Do not federal government do not shut us down. We are not members of the Al Jazeera or ISIS, nigga. Hold on.
It's a reputable news organization.
Yeah, it's a I know it is. I'm joking.
I use OAN myself.
I know I'm joking. Come on now.
How do you really feel, Winston? Rodger?
Right?
Come on, I don't know. Anyway.
Protect him. Don't touch 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 him. He's not resisting.
So if you missed it, there was a protest. I think this is Long Island, New York, I believe. There was a protest. This man was walking down the street, minding his own fucking business. The police were harassing him. If you didn't notice, there were two cops. Two of them, right? And this man, he's right there. He's just walking, minding his own business. I'll slowly drag it forward a little bit for the people who are watching my screen on the show. And you notice right there, this cop purposely stops. And this is what ignites them to saying, don't touch him. Or somebody else, one of the protesters saying don't touch him, but then you see the cops come up and saying that this man bumped and pushed this police officer.
Yeah.
And after that, so you see the setup though, right? Because he's walking.
I see the setup.
Why is his police car already there and ready?
Yeah.
Why are they already ready to jump out?
Right.
I mean, man, that's just, that's the police.
This is the day after Governor Cuomo signed it.
This is why I think that, even though I am against defunding the police, but we definitely need police reform.
Why are you so against defunding? You know that every year they defund education, that doesn't mean that they tear down education.
No. What I'm saying is no. What I'm saying
we still have education.
So
it's just a convenience definition right now. People are seem to forget right now.
So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying the defunding, because in my mind, what I'm thinking defunding is not giving them anything, and just tearing down and disbanding the police department. I'm against that. I'm against disbanding the police department and just tearing them up. But I do think that there is need to reform. As far as their union is concerned, yes, we need to get them bitches done.
Well, I think what Frank is saying is that the word defunding has a misleading connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? The word itself, it makes it sound like
take all the money away, shut down.
Yeah, taking all the money.
Defunding doesn't mean abolish.
Just getting rid of, disbanding the police force. But like Frank is saying,
what I'm thinking.
Every year when the budget comes in, there are certain programs, and administrations that get defunded, but that doesn't mean that they're done away. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just a matter of like, hey, instead of you getting $200 million this year, we're gonna give you $125 million. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the number may be, and so and we're gonna redistribute that money, that extra money. We're gonna fund that to education, to fucking.
Now, see, I'm on board with that.
Rehabilitation. To mental health, to whatever, whatever
I'm on
other.
Board with that. That's what I'm on
because
board
one thing
with.
that I've been seeing, man, that I've been thinking about, is in fairness, which I try to be to the best of my ability, usually, not always, but the police are asked to deal with a lot of shit that really they're not equipped to fucking deal with. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And so, a lot of police calls, a lot of 911 calls are for, mentally ill situations.
Yes,
and situations,
that's right.
Where you're sending a police officer in there who's trained to deal with criminals and that's coming in there armed, and you know how the shit goes when police oftentimes get involved. You know what I'm saying? Shit tends to escalate. Shit gets tense. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's not really their fucking job to deal with that type of
and
shit.
I believe that, yes.
But there's but most states and cities and counties and whatnot don't have or at least they don't direct funds to fund these other, organizations that sits in to deal with those type of situations. You know what I'm saying? So that the police can focus on what the fuck they need to focus on.
So train.
And they don't deserve that much money, man.
Hey.
It's just too much money.
Hey, Joe.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Joe's on.
Yo,
what up?
Joe?
Come on. What up?
I would say sorry to cut you off, Zed. To piggyback on you, I think we said in the chat group that defund, even because a lot of people don't understand the full meaning of that word. I mean, public education has been defunded, but there are a lot of public schools still open. But people don't want to grasp that concept. I think something like demilitarize, de-escalate, or some shit. Different words, man, because people.
Well, part of the reason.
Use the same word, man.
Go ahead. Everybody talking to once you can't do
why
that.
the word gets fucked up is because of what you just said. Because the public schools are defunded.
Yes.
So motherfuckers don't understand the real definition of shit because they ain't getting taught properly.
Yeah. Boom. He's here all day, folks. The low hanging fruit.
But no. What's up, Joe?
What up, though?
Nothing much, man. We just talked about your boy Fat Nix, and now we're moving on to this police. We showed that video that I put in chat group titled "Whole Shit," where the cops basically set this nigga up.
Right.
So I mean, so them speaking the gospel, man. They need to demilitarize. They need to probably take money away. But I would say if you want to have, if you want to maintain that level of money that you've been getting as a police force, when we started talking about education, why don't we educate the police?
Exactly.
What they have like 21 weeks in police academy, and then they're released to just do the job. Why don't they have ongoing education and benchmarks that if you are, if you want to reach the higher levels of the pay scale, then you need to reach this level of education. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be coming in, just get your police academy certificate, and then you getting, double overtime, working all these events just because you serve time on the force.
Yeah,
they should be taking college courses and de-escalation
Exactly.
and police. What's that major criminal justice courses? You know what I'm saying?
Courses. So, Joe,
I wouldn't even give him. I wouldn't even give him criminal justice. I would mandate them to take social studies, social skills. You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
Well, I would say that
why can't we do both?
Schools need to.
But
I'm saying the schools need to probably adjust their curriculum to accommodate that, to fold that into the criminal justice degree. It shouldn't just be about punitive things. They should be also talking about sociology, psychology.
Right. So,
you guys know what
you were saying. There is a proposal that if you want to be a police officer, that you have to have college courses. And in the college courses, in the college curriculum, they were talking about social science studies, and they were also mentioning some things about criminal justice.
Yeah,
I like that.
But I think at minimum, to probably should probably be an associate's.
Yeah, I think
it should probably be the minimum.
I think ongoing,
and then that's the basement. And if you want to get anything above that, you need to go back and get the bachelor's.
Right.
You want to get and then put a cap on how much money they can make. You want to make the next amount of money, go back and get the master's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, they should do it like nursing. I mean, at minimum, you have to have
every other fucking, profession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At minimum, it's
but I think the big thing that de-escalation, which for me it means education, because as we all learned out, I think that the amount of weeks they spend at the academy and the amount of time they actually spend on anything as far as like you said sociology, psychology, de-escalation techniques, I think it's like might be 10% of the time they spend there. When that should be like one of the, you want to be proficient with your weapon and all that stuff, but you're not in fucking Iraq, bro. You're in South Kansas City. You need to come up on the scene and learn how to calm everyone, so that way you can find out what you need to do, so no one gets shot and everybody gets to go the fuck home.
And if they study multicultural studies,
that too.
Oh yes, that will help.
Then they might have an understanding of the point of views of different citizen groups.
Right.
And be able to have empathy and react accordingly.
Hey, or it might be, I know this might be groundbreaking, but if you're a cop in South Kansas City, you gotta fucking live in South Kansas City. You can't live in North Kansas City or Liberty or fucking wherever else. You have to live in the areas where you provide a fucking service to people.
Right.
If I want to be on call and work for the CAF lab, I gotta be able to respond in 20 minutes. Goddamn, if you a cop, you can't live 20 minutes away from nowhere where you're gonna be providing fucking services at.
We need Minutemen.
Right.
So,
they fire when they see the whites of their eyes. That's what they wait.
I mean, but we all the same thing.
I got you.
And I put this in the chat group, but I think it's just to serve the point of I hate sometimes headlines, because like we all said. Sanders dismisses progressives' calls to defund police, says department needs more resources. And I think, once again, education is at a minimum sometimes, and people equate resources to money instead of resources as far as outlets as far as education, continuing education, de-escalation techniques, less militarized vehicles, shit like that. So if you actually read the article, there's a lot of information there.
Well, yeah, and to Bernie Sanders, that's where I get on board with him about defunding the officers, because they do need more resources, like in education, not in weapons, because cops don't need more weapons to arrest a criminal. I mean, but they always come 5 deep.
What sets the police different from everybody else that is asked to do more with less?
No, I totally agree. But once again,
I agree with that. But
once again,
what I'm saying is they don't need to militarize the police department.
Well, I'll tell you one groundbreaking boom. Oh my God! I say get all these police officers, these street cops, the beat cops, take away all their tasers and take away their guns. Have a specialized unit that gets called on scene after that handle certain weapons. You know what I'm saying? So that way that these cops that carry on a baton don't feel so empowered and so fucking cocky. Start with that before we start defunding. You know what I mean? Let's start with that, because if I have to come up to a scene like how you were saying, if I have to live in the place where I work, right, then I have to be amongst the people. I can't be amongst the people with weapons and a vest. I saw a video earlier today about a white lady approaching a black young girl. The girl put up her hands up in the air. The white cop was like fucking bawling. All she wanted to do was just tell her, hey, you know, we're not all bad. I'm like, yeah, why don't you just take out your flatband? Why are you approaching and that individual?
Well, see, that's the image. But see, that's the image that the little kid sees.
And
the little kid is frightened.
What I'm saying is like, you don't need, if you're just gonna be like if you're gonna have a normal conversation with someone, especially a little kid, why do you have to have your flak jacket?
I would, to her credit though, to the police officer's credit, I would wonder and ask what was the uniform of the day. Saying what's going on around the neighborhood.
I guess that's the only thing, is like, as long as that flak jacket is attached to the uniform and you can't physically take it off.
I'm sure that there are certain protocols that they have, they have to follow as police officers.
That's why I said
disciplinary action.
That's why I said. That's why I go back to saying, like, so let's go with the basic beat cops. If you're going to start at the ground level up, so then you have to be just amongst the people, because the more gear you get put on, and it happened to me too when I was in the military. The more gear we got put on, yes, it was a strain on us, but it gave us like a sense of confidence of being able to fucking do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Do your job.
Y'all niggas thought y'all was Iron Man, huh?
No, and straight up, straight up, no, straight up, yeah, because
shit, nigga, I pull up, I got 3 grenades, and I got 210 rounds, nigga. What?
Yeah,
right, exactly.
So that's what I'm saying.
I could only imagine.
Like your beat cops or whatever. Just like how Joe was saying, hey, if you're gonna come in at entry level and then work your way up, right? So that's how we could start. That's what I mean about defunding, or maybe allocating different funds to different sources. Like, hey, you're gonna work here.
I think that funding should be conditional. I think defunded or whatever, but it should be conditional. If you don't have X amount of percentage of your cops who have this level of education, we're defunding you. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
if they don't have these criteria where they've, like we said, taking the multicultural studies, taking college courses or whatever, or the equivalent in terms of de-escalation and community policing.
Right now, it is conditional. It's a matter of what the conditions are. The conditions are now, from my understanding at least, is based on arrest records and, you know what I'm saying, different types of arrests and your crime numbers, the percentage of different types of crimes.
I'm saying conditional based on education.
There needs to be other conditions that apply.
I mean, I still go back saying, like, these beat cops or whatever, just take away, because that's what we're saying. Like, for example, like in the military, one soldier, I think to fully equip one soldier with similar gear is like $120,000 to $200,000.
I'm gonna say this. That sounds good and great, but this is America. They're not gonna have police walking around with no weapon. So I'm saying
America is probably not no weapons.
I'm not saying not de-weaponize them. What I'm saying is they don't need to militarize them.
I understand that. That's why I said demilitarize, but I was addressing Frank when he was saying no weapon, and we have a special unit that has weapons. I'm saying
we have security guards also in other places too that are not necessarily armed.
Say what?
No.
I don't know what you're saying. No, hold on. I hear what he said.
Guns.
I hear what he said.
No, not all security guards have guns too, though. But I'm saying, like,
but I'm letting you know the way the American public views the police, they're not going to have them out there without even a fucking 45.
Right, but what we're asking though is, like, if you're not willing to defund it, then let's reform this shit.
Oh no, I get what you're saying. We're all repeating the same thing each other's saying. All I'm addressing is what you were saying. There's ain't gonna be no fucking beat cop with just a baton like this is fucking like we over in fucking Scotland Yard. That ain't gonna happen, bro.
But why can't it?
I don't want to even see
because the same reason why fucking kids get shot in schools and we can't get motherfuckers to fucking limit the amount of funding and resources the NRA has with Congress.
Exactly.
If 21 kids can get murdered in a fucking school and nothing changes,
under cops. That's exactly why I don't want to.
I'm saying if you have a better chance of changing the language of saying demilitarized and like everybody else has said, Joe, Zeb, everybody said on the show, getting a pushback as far as like more education, more cops with like multicultural education, socializing, shit like that.
Right.
You're going to get more reach with that than just saying let's defund the police and only the.
So we're going back to meeting halfway then.
Say what?
No.
We're going back to what?
Here we go.
We're going back to what?
I'm just saying.
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear what you said.
It was coming.
What'd you say?
What I'm saying is, you have to have.
Damn you, Van Jones.
Right, but you have to have radical ideas and radical concepts.
Here's your radical idea, Frank. Your radical idea is trying to get the first degree for Floyd, for George Floyd. That's what your radical idea is. We ain't gonna get shit.
That wasn't gonna fly.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you is that's the equivalent. Trying to get first degree is the equivalent of saying that you're gonna have beat cops with no weapons. That's the equivalent. So what I'm trying to tell you is the third or second degree is saying, okay, your cops got a 45. They don't need a fucking MRAP. They don't need fucking grenade launchers. They don't need a fucking Lamborghini like they got one out in L.A. That's a police car. They don't need that shit.
No,
but going back to the same analogy, an MRAP, if you're militarized, you already have it's premeditated. Why do you need all that shit?
But you're agreeing with me. I'm saying demilitarize. You have a better chance of saying demilitarize the police than saying unarm the police.
Right. I would never unarm the police.
Hold on. See, I just threw out that idea. I still believe that it has to be defunded.
Okay, that's fine. We're saying the same thing,
Okay.
except the fact that you think that America's going to allow cops to walk around with just a fucking billy club.
Right. So I would never say that. I would never say that.
Stop again.
But these are
What'd you say?
Right, Joe.
I said stop. Or I'll say stop again.
Nigga.
Right, Joe. Right, Joe. That's exactly what it is.
You got a better job fucking getting elected to fucking office while smoking a crack pipe than these motherfuckers not allowing these cops to have a gun.
Well, that might be the next president.
It might be, but I'm just saying. I know. That's why I love Frank. I love the ideology. I love the dreams. I love all that. Maybe 10, 20 years from now, but right now, today. If you trying to go, if you right now today say we defund the cops or nothing else, I'm sorry, either we unarm the cops or nothing else. Good luck, Chief.
You can't do that. No,
I think we dealing in extremes, and it's going to have to be some sort of middle ground. I know Frank doesn't like middle ground, but we're going to have to have some sort of middle ground.
But no, Frank was talking about, Frank used to be Mr. Reach Across the Aisle. What are you talking about?
No,
he was the opposite of that.
Who was that?
Joe was.
Oh, okay, my bad.
We got to have middle ground, and Frank is not for that.
I got my light skins mixed up.
No, this is my middle ground. It's the beat cops.
No, Frank. Let me do it. I was about to say it. So what I'm saying to you, I read earlier this week, maybe last week, I want to say Candance in New Jersey or something like that has a similar issue. Camden. And basically they voted to demilitarize their police force, which meant, of course, a lot less funding. But what they did was they restructured it somehow. I don't know if they fired, people who were whatever, but they ended up with more police officers for less money. And basically had them focus on community policing.
Yes.
So, the type of stuff, the Officer Tommy Norman type of stuff, going out there, knowing your beat, knowing your community, getting to know the people and having your eyes and ears open and that type of thing. And I don't know if you have an elite squad, like Frank talks about, whatever, to handle heavy hitters, but just have an increased presence with less money, doing more with less. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And their numbers went down. Their numbers cut in half because they had an increased presence in the streets.
You know what,
probably
Joe?
Were able to have eyes and ears to stop problems before they, got out of hand. So their crime numbers went down and created more jobs. Now they weren't as high paying jobs.
Yep.
Right. But, that's fine. These people ain't got to get rich off of this. So.
But see, Joe, I also thought I saw something else with that that went along with that.
Nah, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, when they increased their presence and stuff like that, they basically ended situations where it was peaceful. They didn't have,
you have to build rapport.
They didn't have to use their weapons to de-escalate a situation in Candance. So I think I've seen that on somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it, but I did see that.
You build a rapport with the community that you have been sworn to serve and protect. It's very simple. It's very simple. People do it in the psych field. People do it in the psych field every day.
You do it every day in life.
Every day in life.
Times when we can't seem to find our way in life. It's like walking through a forest with no direction late at night, under trees of pain and strife. Questions bounce through my brain, in spite of all I do, of all I pursue. Sometimes I still feel as if I don't have a clue. I guess I'm looking just like you. I'm looking for a way out, trying hard to stay out of doubt and despair. Already once made me lose my hair, and I ain't trying to go back there. So I pick up the pen and prepare to share. Let's break bread and make bread. Cultivate our hearts to be a soft and fresh baked bread, so that I can show love to my fellow man. Understand the unity, incomprehensible congruency. The line of life forever flowing fluidly. Present to you and me. Can't you feel the vibrations? What can rock a nation? Perhaps the truth in this presentation that keeps me grounded like Kemetic pyramid foundations. Through life's nasty life fluctuations, I keep it steady like the breaths I'm taking in and out. Meditate on breath counts, no doubt. I'm looking for a way out, so I slip into a zone with stress, worry, and fear are gone. Feeling like I've been in bone with something calm, like the center of a stone. Inside, I'm feeling wrong. Nothing can do me home because I've been transformed to something higher. Now energized like a live wire, like a live fire. I'm raging, feeling like changing the course of history, unraveling all of life's unsolved mysteries. So tell me, can you picture me rolling in dough, zoning out my window, inhaling for all the things that I've been through, exhaling for all that I want to get into. Meditating on life like a Hindu, got me seeing visions of me rocking your nearest venue. It's just something inside that tells me that my life is en route to affect you when these rhymes intersect you. Cause I know that you was looking for a way out too. Bud and brew, gin and hen, words spoken with knees bend, silent contemplation, breathe in, robbing and thieving, drug slinging, mud slinging, pussy and paper chasing, all for the sake of relieving this pain inside and to bring in some peace of mind. Consumed in the belly of the beast, I find myself feeling restricted like a nigga on work release. My time is no longer mine, my light it no longer shines. I might just lose my mind if I don't find an escape route from the arms of Babylon. Somebody please show me your way out. I'm looking for the one of five now. No one is out alive.
break bread with your brothers whenever possible.